Good morning, everybody. I am so thrilled that you guys get to be with us today. We are going through our third week in the book of Proverbs, and today we are discussing the power of words and how to use them wisely. But before we begin our story, we're going to do a little bit of worship. So I want all of you, even you sitting at home, to stand up on your feet with me so we can worship God together.
Lots of room, a big
It is traditions time, everyone. So this is our third and final week. We are going over Proverbs 3, 5 through 6, okay? And I want all of you to film yourselves saying the verse out loud and then send it in to our phone number, 909-767-9314, okay? But when you are saying this verse, I want you to do something a little different. I want you all to be doing jumping jacks while you're quoting the verse, okay? All right, now we're all gonna say together, Proverbs 3, 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. So make sure to send in those videos, and once you have 5 of those videos submitted, we'll make sure to give you a gift card so you can get ice cream, and everyone loves ice cream.
Psalms, Proverbs, and parables too. We're talking about the wisdom here for you. Every book, every page, every storyline of poetry, history, inspired divine. Wisdom for life, for every day. Wisdom for your soul as you're making your way through the tough times. You gotta trust your God. Through the good times, you gotta trust your God. Main man David had a son, the chosen one to rule the kingdom. Had a lot of fun, gained some wisdom. The mighty, mighty King Solomon. God offered him a gift, any wish, any need, but he asked, made me wise to help me lead. A man famous for his wisdom worldwide. I'm reading his Proverbs to walk on the wise side. Psalms, Proverbs, and parables too. We're talking about the wisdom here for you. Every book, every page, every storyline of poetry, history, inspired divine. Wisdom for life, for every day. Wisdom for your soul as you're making your way through the tough times. You gotta trust your God. Through the good times, you gotta trust your God. Some proverbs you understand from the start, like to trust in the Lord with all of your heart. While others take a little longer, like a dog throwing up. Now that makes you ponder. But if you take the time and apply your mind, so much knowledge and wisdom your heart will find. So read it often and watch your life grow, as God waters the seed of wisdom you sow. Psalms, Proverbs, and parables too. We're talking about the wisdom here for you. Every book, every page, every storyline of poetry, history, inspired divine. Wisdom for life, for every day. Wisdom for your soul as you're making your way through the tough times. You gotta trust your God. Through the good times, you gotta trust your God.
So guys, I have a little object lesson for you. We're going to show you a couple titles, and I am going to remove a single letter from those titles, and it's going to change the meaning of the movie title entirely, okay? So I'm going to show the first one. Here we have Finding Nemo. I'm just going to take a single letter off, and now it's Finding Emo. Moana. When you take off the letter A off the end, now it's just Moan. One of my favorites. Dumbo. Take off the final letter, now it's just Dumb. Robin Hood. If I take off that final letter, it's Robin Who. And here's the best one. Alice in Wonderland. Take off the first letter, now it's just Lice in Wonderland. So with one letter missing in these movie titles, the whole meaning is changed, right? And that's the power that words have. They can evoke feelings and the pictures in our minds. So they have the power to change someone's story. So what does Solomon have to say about some of the power of these words in his book of Proverbs? Well, we're about to talk about that and discuss Proverbs 18, which talks all about words, wise words and foolish words and how we use them. Hello everyone, and welcome to Story Time. I have with us, well, not Miss Lori. Miss Lori, did you turn into a whole different person?
Yes, I've turned into Miss Kim.
Oh, hello, Miss Kim.
Hello, Caden.
You're not Miss Lori. I know we're kidding, but welcome.
Thank you.
Glad that you get to fill in for Miss Lori today.
Thank you. Happy to be here today.
Well, today we're going to be talking about words, as I said in our introduction. We're talking about wise words and foolish words, and then also we want to talk about how wise words build us up, and foolish words, what do you think they do?
They knock us down.
They break us down. So I want to show you a couple of my favorites. Proverbs 18 has a ton of proverbs all about words and how to use them, and when we're being wise when we use them, when we're being foolish. For example, some of these are almost kind of funny.
Okay.
The words of a fool starts fights. Do him a favor and gag him.
I like that.
Proverbs 18:6.
Very wise.
Listening to gossip is like eating cheap candy. Do you really want junk like that in your belly? Proverbs 18:8. Words satisfy the mind as much as fruit, as does the stomach. Good talk is as gratifying as a good harvest. Proverbs 18:20. And finally, words kill, words give life. They're either poison or fruit, you choose. Proverbs 21. I sound really wise when I say these.
You do sound wise.
Thank you. Well, would you like to do the story with me today?
Absolutely.
Just to warn you, I made it a bit more challenging. I know this is your first day, but I'm going to try to tell the story in a slightly different way.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about King Solomon, as you remember, wrote almost all the Proverbs. And we're also going to be talking about his dad, King David, who was one of the best kings in the Old Testament. Okay?
Okay.
But the way we're going to tell the story is we're just going to do one sentence at a time, and the first letter of each sentence is a different letter of the alphabet, in order.
Okay.
Is that too tough?
I think I might be up to the challenge.
All right, we can bounce back and forth.
All right.
I wrote it like this.
All right.
Starting with the letter A.
Okay.
All the land had never seen a king so wise as Solomon.
Before him came David, a king after God's own heart.
Can you imagine the dreams of these kings?
Dreaming of a temple that Solomon would build, a home for the one true God.
Expense was not spared on every room and every brick.
Fine furnishings adorned as far as the eye could see.
Furnishings? I don't know what those mean.
Furnishings? Furniture, beautiful chairs, and
Gotcha.
I suppose artwork.
Or these nice blocks behind
Absolutely, the blocks.
you. Glistening gold and silver so shiny.
High above the city, God's temple towered.
Inside the ark of God had its place.
Journeyed from afar with God's people in the days of Moses, the ark a symbol of his presence.
King Solomon spent 7 years building this new home for God.
Lastly, when all the building was complete, Solomon fell to his knees and spread his hands toward heaven, saying,
My line. Mighty God, we dedicate this temple to you.
"No one is like you in heaven above or earth below."
Only you are worthy to be praised. You're the one true God.
Promises from your mouth are always fulfilled. You kept your word to my father, and today it has been fulfilled.
Queens and kings will see your goodness from lands afar.
Righteous living is what we seek. Lord, listen and hear our prayers this day.
Solomon stood and blessed the people. May you each know God and follow his path, living your life in obedience to him.
The tongue has the power of life and death, wrote Solomon in his Proverbs of wisdom.
Until this very day, his wisdom rings true. It's good advice for me and you. Rhymed.
Verses of wisdom fill God's book, warning us to be wise with our words.
Words can build up and words can tear down. Solomon knew the power of God's words and the power of ours.
Okay, this one is tricky. Exceptional wisdom that can build our life, don't you think?
I think that's cheating.
Exceptional wisdom?
It starts with an E.
Exceptional wisdom.
Exceptional. Yes, very wise indeed. And final letter.
Zillions of words spoken each day. Choose wisely which ones you will say.
That's a pretty good lesson. All just from one chapter of Proverbs and a little bit of history.
Absolutely.
So Solomon knew the power of words and also the power of prayer. So he spoke great words of wisdom in that we can read in the book of Proverbs, such as Proverbs 18:21, as I already quoted. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. So we are wise when we know the power of words, and God's word gives us the wisdom for life.
Absolutely.
So we can use that in our own lives. Anytime I'm just talking to my friends, talking to my family, I don't want to keep breaking them down.
No.
I don't want to waste words, you know. I want to say words that have meaning and can build people up and encourage them.
Absolutely. Wise words.
King Solomon had fulfilled what God had said. He built a temple for God. This temple wasn't like any other building. Solomon used the finest wood, glistening gold, and shining silver. The temple took 7 years to build, and when Solomon was done, it was time to bring the Ark of God to its new home. The Ark of God was a large, beautiful box covered in gold that symbolized God's presence. Solomon summoned to Jerusalem the leaders of Israel and the heads of the tribes to bring the Ark into its place in the Holy of Holies. Then Solomon fell to his knees and spread his hands out toward heaven. He prayed aloud, dedicating the temple. Lord, the God of Israel, there is no God like you in heaven above or on earth below. You have kept your promise to your servant David, my father. With your mouth you have promised, and with your hand you have fulfilled it, as it is today. The heavens cannot contain you. How can you dwell in this temple I have built? Lord, hear your servant's prayer. Hear the words I pray today. May your eyes be open toward this temple night and day. Solomon went on praying passionately. Help us to be obedient and to follow you. When your people do wrong and face enemies, listen from your home in heaven and forgive them. When the skies dry up and there is no rain, listen from your home in heaven and send rain. When disasters strike, listen from your home in heaven. Lord, hear and honor our prayers. Then all the people on earth will know God is the true God. There is no other God. And your lives must be totally obedient to God, our personal God, following the life path He's cleared. Alert and attentive to everything He has made plain this day. When Solomon was done praying, he stood and blessed the people, announcing to everyone, "May these words of mine, which I've prayed before the Lord, be near to the Lord our God day and night. May God be with us so that all the people of the earth may know that the Lord is God and that there is no other." Solomon knew the power of words and the power of prayer. He spoke proverbs of great wisdom. Proverbs 18:21. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. We are wise when we know the power of our words. God's word gives us wisdom for life.
Thank you guys for joining us for our story and learning about words with us. And I hope that we get to see you guys next week.
Yes.
Where we can continue to go through Proverbs and continue to have a lot of fun. So we'll see you guys then.
Bye, guys.